following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
America. Brother Mike is back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Today's Bible study, Is America Doomed? Find out today on Hardcore. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them radio program's on? I need to make a couple announcements, so you make that call. Thanks for helping us. Say, this is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. HardcoreChristianity.com is our website. As you'll notice on the website, we have 2 live services every week. We never close down for COVID-19. We never canceled any appointments for COVID-19. Nothing has changed at the Deliverance Center at all because of the epidemic. We didn't change anything. On the website, you'll notice at 7 o'clock, both those services start. Brother Rick and the Hardcore Ministry team are hitting it out of the park on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. No appointment necessary for prayer. 7 p.m. Friday is my teaching service for my radio listeners. Every service, both these services, have preaching, teaching, healing, and deliverance, and both services are broadcast on our YouTube teaching channel, youtube.com/House of Healing AZ. On the website, you can sign up for our next free seminar. The last one was The Bomb. The title of it was The End of All Things is at Hand. It's currently on our YouTube teaching channel. The PayPal button's on the website. Our new donation app is also on the website. May God bless you for supporting us for the last 18 years. Love our friends at KXXT Christian Radio and our friends at darkskyradio.com and all of our friends on Omega Man Radio. May God richly bless each of you. Don't forget about Sister Karen. She's on the homepage of the website. And by the way, thank you for all the referrals you've sent to Karen. She and I do not take a salary out of the ministry, so the referrals that you've sent Karen for her real estate business, listing homes for sale for Christians and Spirit-filled Christians, born-again Christians, she loves it, and you've been a great blessing to us. Is America doomed? Folks, I need to apologize to you right out of the gate. I've been on the radio for 18 years in Maricopa County, Arizona. 18 years you have been supporting me and helping the ministry. I thank you as usual from the bottom of my heart for it. I could never have done any of this without your support. Thank you for that. I've always stayed away from politics. I hate politics. I never get involved in it. But unfortunately, things have gotten so bad, it's unreal. I hate doing this. I apologize to you in advance for it. In the United States, the Democratic Party has been taken over completely by Satan. The Republicans, of course, they're bat poop crazy, to use a semi-slang term. I have zero respect for Republicans at all. They're terrible. But Democrats now are so much worse than Republicans. I ain't got the words to describe it to you. Let me give you an example of the satanic doctrines these people are now promoting and want to spread all across the United States through poor Joe Biden, who has pre-onset dementia, and they're just shoving the poor guy out there in the greatest example of elderly abuse I've ever seen. Why don't they leave this poor guy alone? He's so sick, it's unreal. But they won't. They got to push him out there because they hate Trump. But the doctrines that they're teaching, friends, are beyond belief. Wide open borders. Wide open borders along Canada and Mexico, so anybody, any kind of criminal, any kind of terrorist, anybody just walk across. Anybody with any kind of disease, just walk across. They believe in autonomous zones where protesters and rioters take over portions of downtowns of our major cities, destroying businesses and hurting so many people, and destroying so many people's lives. It's absolutely awful. They support satanic groups like BLM and Antifa and all kinds of other groups with all kinds of flowing satanic doctrines. They want to get rid of everybody's guns so nobody can protect themselves. They want to take all the guns from God-fearing citizens who have no criminal records, who do not abuse weapons. They want to remove them all. They believe in socialism. They believe in tearing down our history of the country. They believe in mail-in voting, which is very easy to cheat and commit fraud. They believe in people voting with no ID. You just walk up and vote. Can you imagine that? There's almost 22 million people living in this country who came in illegally, who did not come in through our immigration system. They want to just give them amnesty. They believe in selective quarantining. We went over this last week on the radio. This COVID-19 thing is a gasping hoax. They leave these stores open. They force these stores to close. They close churches. They leave open protesting, rioting, and looting. The whole thing is a gasping scam. They want to empty out our prisons and our jails. They want to implement zero bail for violent offenders and sex perverts. They want to raise everyone's taxes. Normally, in a normal election, if you said that you wanted to raise taxes, that would kill you. You would never be elected. Joe Biden came out and specifically said it. He was going to raise everybody's taxes. He specifically said it. It was unbelievable. They want to defund the police. Can you imagine that? You know how many people that would hurt and the lives that would be destroyed? Particularly minorities. Cops are the only thing between minority neighborhoods and gangsters and criminals. They want to abolish ICE. That's the government agency that removes criminal aliens and deports them and puts them in prison. Can you imagine that? They want to take all guns except for the guns that politicians' security services have. All the politicians want guns, and they want their people to have guns, but they don't want anybody else to have any guns. They want to teach grade schoolers. The name of the book years ago was called The Joys of Sex. You remember that book? Came out in the 80s? Extremely popular. They want to teach grade schoolers the joys of sex, oral sex, how to use condoms, safe anal sex. Can you imagine teaching grade schoolers and middle schoolers and high school kids? Can you imagine teaching them the best ways for homosexual and transgendered anal and oral sex? That's what they're for. They do not want Christian private schools, parochial schools. They're against them. They want the entire country to be forced to go to public schools where sin and incompetence and failure are rampant in our public schools. They don't have enough money to teach properly. They teach satanic and demon-possessed doctrines, and they indoctrinate children atheism, agnosticism, sexual orientations. They want to teach our school children that there's 72 sexes, not two, male and female. They want to teach our school kids that gender identity is legitimate and that all bathrooms have to allow males and females and all 72 genders using the same bathroom. They want our kids to learn about unisex bathrooms and drag queens. Wow, can't wait for that. Absolutely incredible. The Democrats want abortion on demand up to 9 months of birth, and if the baby's born accidentally alive, the baby's to be exterminated. They want physician-assisted suicide and euthanasia to be normal in our society. Can you imagine teaching people these satanic and demonic doctrines? Joe Biden specifically said in public he wants Islam taught in our public schools. Can you imagine that? They took prayer out of the school decades ago. Okay, we went along with it, I guess. The Republicans were okay with it. They didn't fight it. Now they want to teach Islam when they're in our Constitution is a separation of church and state and the Bill of Rights. I don't understand any of this. Yes, I do. It's Satan, friends. They're also teaching the normalization of pornography for all ages and pedophilia, and that sexuality for children is positive. They want to join forces with China, a communist, godless, evil country, and give them back our jobs, our companies, and outsource all of our jobs to foreign countries so they can pay them cheaper labor. Israel did the same thing years ago. Do you remember that? Israel demanded a king, and Samuel said to them, "This king that you're demanding, he will take your sons and your daughters and appoint them for himself." Samuel said this. 1 Samuel chapter 8. He warned them. Jehovah warned them. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself. He will take your chariots, your horsemen. He will make you slaves. He will appoint captains over you. He will rule over you. You will have to plow his ground and reap his harvest. You will make instruments of war for him. He will take your daughters and make them perfumers and cooks and bakers. He will take your fields and vineyards and olive yards. He will give them to his servants. He will take 1/10 of your seed. He will take the best of your people. He will take the best of your livestock. And you will cry out that day, says the Lord, because of the king you have chosen. And I will not hear you, says the Lord. Nevertheless, verse 19, 2 Samuel 8, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, "No, we want a king over us." America, if you vote for Biden, our country and our religious freedoms will die. And God is asking you, don't do it. We cannot answer like the Jews did. No, we want a king over us.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.